We are seeing a lot of misunderstanding surrounding the two next sets of Magic the Gathering, March of the Machines and March of the Machines Aftermath. So let's get those facts straight instead, find out what the products have to offer, and not the least, let's see how they're going to change Magic forever.
The next set from Wizards of the Coast is going to be March of the Machines. March of the Machines is the last in this Phyrexian set, which started out with Dominaria United and ended up now with March of the Machines. It's going to be a standard legal set, which is going to have the full complement of all the products you know from Wizards of the Coast. The Phyrexian story arc is coming to an end. Are you sad to see it end, or are you there where you're just thinking, let's get this over with? Let us know down in the comment section.
We get a pre-release pack like we always do, but for that set, they have written a little something special in the description of what the set contains. So it says you will get one new mythic card, and the word new is the operative word here because it does seem like there's going to be a special slot for a specific type of card. A lot of speculation has been around this battle mechanic. If you have a close look at the screen now, you will see Atraxa Grand Unifier. She has a new type of card listed down below. It says battle. And maybe this set is going to be the one set where they premiere this new card type. It is already in the rules section of Magic the Gathering, but it doesn't really clearly state what this card type does yet. So that's going to be very interesting. So for the collector boxes, we have a little description that says what kind of rarities, and everything looks pretty much as usual, but we also get the description that there's going to be a legion of new different treatments. And this legion of new treatments, I think we can pretty much expect that we're going to see, like we did for Phyrexia or will be one, loads of new treatments. Probably also the same card having maybe up to 4 or 5 different versions. So they are definitely still continuing this exploration of new different treatments with each of these sets in this Phyrexian 4-block story arch.
2023 is definitely going to be the year of all the different borders and styles and filings and whatnot. It's going to be interesting to see how they're actually going to end up, if this is going to be a continuous trend, or if we're going to settle on some more stable versions.
Definitely also because 2022 was the one that introduced different types and variations, but only one per set.
2022 definitely was the year with all the different filings, but what was your favorite filing? Me personally, I really enjoyed those edged filings, and I enjoyed those textures filing from the Dominaria United. I think those were gorgeous.
2023 has been the one where we get like 5 or 6 different versions for each set. I kind of hope they have a little fun exploring and then sort of narrow it down to what they like and what people seem to enjoy, because it's a bit too much. I think it's a little overwhelming. Let's hear more about the commander decks because they are particularly interesting due to 10 new specialty cards.
We're going to have 10 specialty cards. We're going to have one edged foil commander. I think that's a nice little supplement. And we're going to have a 6-sided die also. And there's a lot of speculation that these 10 extra cards, they might be something resembling Plane Chase. Plane Chase was a supplement when you were playing a multiplayer game where you had this plane in the middle of the table. And the plane had some different variants of rulings that affected all players around the table. It resembles a little bit of those, world enchantments from some of the really old set where you play a world enchantment and that enchantment affects all players around the table. And you had some different cards to interact with these plane chase cards, and you could also change realms, simply plane chase from one realm to another realm. It was really fun actually. A little gimmicky, and I'm not certain how much the players actually enjoyed it because it does put in some variance and some uncertainty, but it's going to be interesting to see if this is actually going to come back to Magic again.
Indeed, but if it is supposed to come back, I think this is a brilliant time. I mean, this is the set where Elish Norn is dividing her machine legion all kinds of places in the multiverse. I mean, this is just, I think it would be genius that we could explore different planes via the commander decks, because I think this will be commander deck specific. I don't know how much it will sync up with the general set, because also in the commander decks, you could make a lot of cards that just synergize with it and make it more easy to play around.
If it happens, I think it's really going to be a fun way to play Commander with your friends. But let's see how the players are going to react to it. If you like this video and you don't want to miss any of the coming videos we're going to make, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. We really appreciate it. March of the Machines is releasing in April, but another set, and this is where people are getting the two things confused. Another set called March of the Machines Aftermath is going to release the 12th of May. Aftermath is a completely different product. It is still standard legal, but it's not draftable, and it contains fewer booster packs than March of the Machines. So March of the Machines, 36 draft booster packs in a box. You have 30 in a set box, and you have 12 in a collector box. Aftermath is described by Mark Rosewater as a new thing and also as a micro set. So it's going to be in a little bit more unusual, and it's going to have a more limited product line. Aftermath is going to have epilogue boosters and collector booster packs. In an epilogue box, you're going to find 24 booster packs, and in a collector box, you're going to find 12 booster packs. And these epilogue boosters are intended to tie up loose ends and also finish this epic grand story of the Phyrexians and how they maybe destroyed the multiverse. There's also going to feature a bundle, and this bundle contains 8 epilogue boosters and 2 unknown little thingies.
Reference cards, we don't know much about them, but let's just dive a little bit into it. For the 3 products in March of the Machines Aftermath, you are going to have, as Jens just said, the epilogue booster, the collector booster, and this bundle. But the interesting thing is not the products only, it is also how many cards. Because everybody has been talking about how this product has lowered the prices, so the pricing is a lot lower than we've been accustomed to, and everybody's been talking about how that's pretty nice, and maybe Wizards is finally learning something. But, they're not. Because actually, if you have a look in those booster packs, they will only contain both 5 or 6 cards. So, per pack, the price is lower. But if you go by per card, the price is actually a lot higher. They're trying to sort of justify this by only giving us uncommon cards and higher rarities. But nonetheless, these cards will be a lot higher. In the bundle, we will also have 2 reference cards. What these reference cards are and what precisely they do, we don't know this yet. March of the Machine is your regular standard release, and March of the Machines Aftermath will be your micro specialty set with a much slimmer product line. But we're just going to have to discuss a little bit, are they trying to get more money from us by releasing yet another type of product? The reason that this is going to change Magic forever is because the storyline is going to change drastically. As we already saw with Phyrexia All Will Be One, Eldritch Norn has made her Realmbreaker tree, and they're just flooding the entire multiverse with loads and legions of this machine army. We already saw, I think, 5 of the Planeswalkers that we had in the story of Phyrexia All Will Be One be completed. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Elspeth, who fired off the Silex but planeswalked into the Blind Eternities. What's going to happen with the rest of the Planeswalkers? Is Phyrexia ultimately going to win? And we know that it says that you can play and collect cards while you rebuild the multiverse in the description of March of the Machines Aftermath. So what does that entail? What is left to build on? Will there be planes that are untouched? Because we know that ultimately afterwards we will still be going to Wilds of Eldraine and also Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So there are some planes left to explore.
Yeah, exactly. And also, as we have talked about in other videos, it would seem like a good idea for Wizards to finish off the story of Dominaria. We have 30 years of lore. That is insanely much to hold focus on when you're releasing new sets, and you're going to constantly be vigilant to not F up your own storyline. I think it would make sense if they actually closed it off.
Yeah, but I do hope we're getting a soft reboot and not like everything is gone, nothing is left.
Yeah.
I think it would be nice to have some threads to hang on to and still have this rich back catalog if you need it for specific reasons. But I do think a soft reboot, for all the reasons you just mentioned, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. One way they could do it might be that they're able to shut off this Realmbreaker tree.
Yeah.
Some realms are just lost. They are now in the realm of Phyrexia, and we are going to continue the story in some of these realms that have been shut off from the Realmbreaker tree, and we're going to see stories unfold there now.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, but I still have the feeling that Elspeth and the Silex is going to nuke everything except for a couple of planes that weren't affected by the Realmbreaker tree. But again, that's the exciting part. We'll get to see and get to find out what happens.
Yeah, and also that is actually the point of this Aftermath set. It's going to tie up the loose ends, it's going to complete the lore and the story. But one thing that I'm a little worried about is that this higher rarity in these packs, we're going to start off at uncommon and go to rare and mythic. I could fear that this is going to be a set, since it is standard legal, that might resemble Alchemy on Arena just in paper format, where you need to buy these new specialty cards if you want to be able to compete in standard legal tournaments.
And it is a really good indicator that you're only getting the higher rarities, so probably there will be some really good, very important cards for the standard in this set. So you're forced to go out to buy yet another set. And this is yet another way to get new products out on the street, but in a way that doesn't involve having to build an entire new set. It's just, a tag on, much like the completed booster, where we already speculated in that video. Check it out up there. But I still think having really good, really important cards in another separate product from the main set, that is an issue.
Yeah, it's also really tone deaf in a, financial climate where people are saying we can't handle any more releases, we can't handle the releases you're doing even now, and they're just pressing even more stuff down our throats.
We are already getting some news about March of the Machines, not Aftermath, but the regular set, on this Sunday, because there is a convention, Magic Convention in Philadelphia this weekend, where Blake will sit on a panel and discuss and give us a little preview of March of the Machines. So hang tight until Sunday, where we will have our first preview. Again, they're not giving us a lot of time to breathe because Phyrexia Overrun just released.
Aftermath, going to be standard legal but not draftable. If you want to see another set coming Q3 that is draftable but not standard legal, go have a look here where Lords of the Rings is going to be released.